I hope my screen is also visible to you.
Yes, screen is visible.
Yeah, sure.
And to all the participants, we shall be circulating an attendance sheet shortly after the start of the talk. So you have to fill up the attendance sheet, which is mandatory for the getting of certificates. So kindly do that. Thank you. Okay, since we have enough participants now, Atyash, I think we can start. Atyash? Atyash, are you there?
Okay. Am I audible?
I think we have. Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So good evening, everyone. It is a great honor to welcome everyone to today's guest lecture. Thank you for showing your interest in today's talk. On behalf of the IEEE Signal Processing Society in branch, IIT Kanpur, I welcome our guest, Prof, PhD from Indian Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, Shibpur. She has completed gold medal for her excellency in the course. She received her bachelor's degree from the same university. Presently, she is working as an associate professor in the Institute of Engineering and Management, Kolkata. She has been certified as the Poblon's Academy Peer Reviewer 2020 and also certified to be a Microsoft Innovative Educator in the year 2020. Her research interests are the following: data mining, information retrieval, online social media analysis, and image processing. She has published over 30 conference and journal papers in renowned publications like Springer, IEEE, Taylor and Francis, etc. She has also published around 5 book chapters from the same publishers. She is a peer reviewer and TPC member in different renowned international journals. She has also served as the editor for many journals. She is an active member of several technical functional bodies such as ACM, IEEE, ASR, etc. She has more than 4 patents. Dr. Soumi Dutta has delivered many talks at different international conferences. She has also been awarded with Rashtriya Shiksha Ratna Award and INHC Research Educational Excellence Award. So today our guest lecturer is going to present a talk about several challenges that we face in social network data analytics. But without further delay, I would request ma'am to continue with the session without me explaining the topic anymore. So just I would like to mention that please kindly the participants mute themselves and at the end of the session you may ask any questions that come up in your mind. And as Shobhik already mentioned that there will be an attendance sheet that is going to be circulated from time and again. You please kindly fill that for your certification. So ma'am, I just request you to continue with the talk.
Very good evening, all of you. Thank you, Tyasha, for this introduction. So I will not waste much time. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Soumi Dutta. I think I'm audible to you all. So I'm just starting today's lecture. I'm very thankful to all of you to arrange such research talks that where deliberately we can just communicate between each other. I extend my gratitude to all of you. And this is one of the IEEE events. So this sort of event always affects all the researchers and the upcoming researchers also who want to contribute and to whom we can easily communicate with each other. Okay, so today I'm just keeping the introduction part. Already you have given my introduction. Directly I'm moving to my topic. So today I am going to talk with you all about the challenges in online social media. So why I am talking about the challenges and why, from where basically I have come with this particular topic, let me tell you this. First of all, I have started working in this area in 2013, not now. So many times we have seen it has come one era when we have started using Orkut, we have started using different sort of Google chat, and we have started communicating each other. So one time we can remember that different sort of chat servers were there, like Bowl and then Talk, different servers were there. So people would like to communicate each other apart in the different sort of online platform. Apart from this communication, then day by day some another platform has come which was launched by Google itself, Orkut. In my college it was very, very popular. So then one after another there are few changes and few online social media has come into the market. Few are microblogs and few are not microblogs. Now one of the very popular are that Twitter, Facebook, these are very popular. Now why these has become popular? Because this has become one of the very important and one of the very popular medium to communicate with each other. Not only we try to share the text, we try to share different sort of videos, we try to share different sort of images, and we can easily market one particular message or market one particular product. If you want to reach in a small time, if you want to reach with great number of users, so this is also help you out to do that particular thing. So that's why this sort of social media has come into the market, and especially in last 2 years when we are confined ourselves into our home, and then we don't have this opportunity so that to communicate each other by moving somewhere, because there are so many restrictions. So we have to depend on this sort of social media platform especially. So if we are trying to communicating with our friends, with our colleagues, with our different sort of product owners, so many times we are trying to take help of this. And before this 2 years also, you can see that a lot of online marketing are also there. But still, in last 2 years, the statistics says the increment of all the sites, especially for the online social media or online marketing, everything had reached in a particularly in a very remarkable way. So previously, number of users trying to access Facebook, Twitter, Instagram per day in 2019. If you see today the number is quite huge. It is not only that day by day it is increasing. Surprisingly, with the with this particular change of our mind, because in last 2 years we have already gone through this sort of scenario that we are quite accustomed. Now, if somebody will say you that whether you are quite comfortable in online mode or offline, maybe there are a good number of users, they will say that I really want to go for that online mode. Because today also you think we don't have to go travel somewhere, we don't have to go somewhere. So that's why these has become so much popular. Now, what is the utility of this sort of popularity? How, being a researcher, we can utilize this one? Wherever we are trying to get, all these are basically crowdsourcing platforms, online social medias. So when we are trying to get so many information, and all these different sort of media are giving us the flexibility to get that some of the information definitely we can get from there, and we can try to develop a few of the researches. Not only every time, do you really think that if I'm sharing few of the photo in the Instagram and all these are just in, they trying to make it public? No, this is not the thing. Sometimes there are few rules and regulations are there. Without violating their rules, they voluntarily give some of the data to us where we search with that sort of data. Apart from this, also few websites security are being broken for the malpractices, by different sort of spammers, by different sort of malpractice users. So being a researcher, we can keep our contribution there also as well, where we can try to protect that sort of data, where we are trying to give that sort of protection. So here I will be showing you today that what are the different challenges are there, that where we can contribute. Apart from this also, you can contribute in several areas. Few of the areas where you can contribute, and at the same time I will show you that few of the research works we have done together with me and my research team for last few years. So that I will try to show you today. Now you see, there are few challenges where we can address. First of all, it is quite a huge task for us if I have to work with some huge data, and that huge data is really huge. Say, if you want to just go through any particular topic, and if you want to know what has gone through, discussion already happened in last 2-3 days, if you want to just search in the Twitter, you can see that some millions of data will be coming. So it is really difficult for us how to handle all this huge data, because we know that we have written many codes how to write a particular code. We know how to devise an algorithm. Many times whenever we are writing our algorithms, we don't think that about the scalability factor, that how much a user is going to use that one, or how much data it will be handled by this particular algorithm. So this time it is one of the challenge for us. All the data are basically very, very unstructured. So why unstructured? Because we are the technical person who are going to handle the data, but who is actually giving the data, they are not technical enough. if you see that in every hand there is a mobile phone, and everybody is using this sort of different sort of social media. They are typing and typing, starting from each and every level. They are writing, not only writing in English, they are writing in all different languages. So this is also another challenge, that if they are using regional language. So definitely we can have different AI application, NLP application to address this one. And apart from this, the way they are, how they are just using, they are representing their information. So many times it is very difficult to understand. So that's why from there to proper information mining is actually required. So we have to just find out all the solution for the huge data flow. Next, we are having another few challenges, like we can have fake news spreading, spam information, and all this. So let's start with this one by one challenges, what I was telling, that in huge data collection, so wherever huge data are coming, this is challenging task. What can be that pre-processing of the data, and you have to transform the data in a proper way, particularly, then definitely on that particularly or noise-free data, you have to do another algorithms, whatever you want to pre-process or whatever you want to do with that particular data. Every time that pre-processed data may not be handled for a particular purpose, but our purpose can be different. I will show you few of the different purposes or few of the different challenges, how we try to achieve. And definitely the data representation, but after all the processing, the visualization or the presentation, or making the complete decision, because we are trying to do all this sort of data mining, data analytics, we are using all these terms for whom? Because ultimately we are trying to give a particularly summarized report, analytical report, which is going to help someone to take a decision, to come out in with some solutions. So that's why our work will be to make an intelligent system, to make an expert system, which are going to handle all this thing, right? So next we can have another few type of important thing, that is fake news spreading. So we know that every time, whenever we see in the social media, many news used to come. Believe me, all the news are not same. Without knowing, many times we even try to just click on share. We are clicking on like. If at that mental state I'm having, I'm liking that one. So we are trying to do this one, right? So we don't try to judge every time that what is the content given, how it is given, and whether it is correct or not. So unknowingly, we are trying to help someone to promote all the data who are trying to spread the news. Now, why they are trying to spread the news is because they are having, first of all, they are having some of the interest many times, that how many likes they will be having, some of the information they want to steal from us. You can see some of the examples I have given you this in the slide, that in the right hand side there is one picture is given. In 2019, this is the condition of a particular area, and in 2009, and this is for 2019, how it looked like. Now they have given proper logo of WWF, and they are trying to frame the photo. Now someone is giving this photo. Now if some will be giving this photo, so definitely without knowing, if we try to just grab the photo and try to have this sort of solution, or we try to come to a conclusion, no, this is the current scenario, so that will be completely different. So whenever any information will come to you, so definitely we will go through it. So to read a particular news or to read a particular post, it is not that I need to take some, I have to do the Google, I have to check all this thing. But whenever we will be transmitting any particular news, definitely we should be aware of this thing. And especially you can work, you can contribute a lot. This is a fake news detection. So how there are different way of finding the feature selection. You can classify whether particular news is fake or not. Next is spam. You can see that before going to another part, this is a part of this fake news detection, and you can easily see here that a concept already has come into the market few years back, that it is called deep faking. Along with this deep learning, this deep faking has also come. So you can see that one image, how it has been morphed, and after using the deep faking, basically they try to apply the technology of synthesizing another image that can be a human image. Mostly human image are being used, or some of the images they try to morph, and they create some of the photos, like it can be JPEG, it can be GIF, like it is a GIF image, but it can be video even, okay, and they are trying to apply different sort of method and they are trying to find it out. Now notice, not only this, they are doing everything. So we are also having methods to apply reverse engineering. We can go with neural network problems and we can solve this one, that how this has been morphed, and easily we can extract this one. So these are the solutions are also there. We can easily found, so you can, I think many of you have definitely seen this sort of photo, because when any of the topic has come into the market, so previously there was a scam regarding the Raj Kundra. So when after that different sort of photos has come into the social market, so they have tried to change it. Nowadays, from 10 years, 15 years back, people used to do that Photoshop. But nowadays, so many tools are available. They are using the methodology of deep faking, and they are trying to create this sort of thing. These are very easy for everyone. You can see that there is one particular software is there. Basically, it's a lab. They have created a product that is Deepfake Lab. They try to host it already. All the materials are hosted in GitHub. You can see that how two persons are different. You can see that in a one shot, if somebody will give you this two picture, you will see, yeah, I know who this man is. But if you see, they have tried to find out the difference within this, they have tried to apply this neural network model, and they have enriched their system in such a way, they have tried to identify not only this photo, they have shown different sort of features, how these are different to each other. For videos also, they can easily do it. So I will be showing you, just a minute, I will be showing you one video for this one. I'm sure the voice will be coming to you. Just let me know once. So it was one of the very wonderful thing. In Washington, basically, they have the Deepfake Lab. They have tried to invented this. So let me go back to the talk again. So next is another challenge what we have, that is spam information spreading. Many times we know that different sort of users, they try to visualize a particular matter in some of the other way, and they try to just spread spams. So this is not a very good, many times we don't know who are the spammers. Unknowingly we try to follow them. They are having good number of followers and followee. If we try to get good sort of information, and they try to spread different spam information. Now the beautiful thing is this, they are quite successful in their way, because they are using this sort of crowdsourced platform to spread out different sort of newses, and unknowingly we are liking them, we are trying to spread them, we are being the media of this particular person who are trying to spread out this spam. So I will just discuss this particular topic in detail, and I will show you the application for this one. Another challenging area where you can contribute, that is personal information stealing. So many times we know that whenever we try to do different sort of transactions, so our personal informations are getting stolen. So that can be any of the personal document, and they try to do cyber extortion on us. They can steal different sort of username, password that are compromised. And this sort of warning also, maybe you have seen in your Google nowadays that your password is compromised, because once, at least 12 years back, the trend was started that when we are trying to log in a particular site, we will try to do that using some of the API. Now, if you're having a LinkedIn profile, if you're having a Facebook profile, Google profile, these are very common. We can take an oath and we can easily log in into a particular site without creating our own username password. So it means you are compromising your Google password with someone else. So in this way, nowadays different sort of activities are also going on in the backend. That's why people are trying to make more strict on this. Not only this, that we are having different sort of operations that you are putting, say you are trying to do some sort of transactions. So in Swiggy, in Zomato, in Big Basket, everywhere you are trying to purchase. So what we do every time, if I have to try using my debit card or credit card, I will not try to put my card number again and again. Better I will save my card. And then wherever necessary, the last 4 digit also, it is only we can see the last 4 digit, and then I have to put the particular CVV number, and then I can easily do that rest of the purchase. Now this is also not very much secure. That's why now the bank has already taken this sort of action, that whenever the account, first time you are putting your card number, they are directly, don't try to save the card numbers. So the rule has come into the market that instead of your card, one token will be generated, and that token number should be saved. So directly I will not allow some of the paying API to save my card number, because it is not authorized. Many times we have seen this sort of problem has come without knowing anything. They are trying to steal some of the information or personal information from them. So you can remember when we have started with online sessions, we have heard that all our Zoom password has been compromised. User ID and password has been compromised. It was already sold in some network. So it was partially true. Not every fact is true. So if somebody is knowing your personal information, they can utilize this particular thing in a sort of the other way. And that is same for your phone number and for everything. And in fact, in case your phone even, so many times we try to exchange our phone with someone else. So we know that before exchanging, we try to format that one, and we are trying to give that phone to the other party, and then we are getting the new phone. So actually, whatever the information you had in that particular phone, if you do the formatting, even that also not gone. There are several ways how that information can be retrieved, that whatever the photos you are having and all this. So there are different softwares. There are different ways how this can be solved. Not only this, when I'm talking about this phone, also you can have this idea that whenever we are trying to find out any sort of information, we are trying to install a particular app, many applications, we are unknowingly, we are trying to do this allow. So whatever is not required, that also we try to give the permission to that particular app. So they can access different sort of information from your phone. So try to being a technical person, at least try to be choosy when you are giving your information. Every information may not be required. Say your gallery, it may not be required to give that access to your gallery to everyone. So you are giving the access. In this way, many times we know that many sort of malpractices are going on. So in detail, today I will be discussing 2 of the topics that I talked about, that how to handle the huge data and how to work with the information retrieval. So this is one of the huge term, information retrieval. There are different ways to find out the information or to retrieve the information. Especially today in my talk, I will be highlighting the textual part. There are ways to work with video information and the image information as well. And whenever you are having a piece of information, how to identify whether these are legitimate or these are spams. So that's why today I will be trying to highlight on this particular two topics. I will be trying to show you all the work, whatever I have done here. Mostly I prefer to work with Twitter data. So these are very reliable, and now many another data set has also come nowadays. But at that time only, when I have started working with all this, so definitely Twitter was one of the very convenient, and more than Twitter, more than Facebook and everything, Twitter is quite official. So that's why this data we can definitely use. You can, as a trusted platform, you can take. So, and also all the data, one particular, it is a microblogging basically. So how much data you are putting, that is, it has a particular limit. So that's why garbage content is less in with respect to the another one, and people take it officially. In all official cases, it are edged. So the topic is here, how we are trying to find out the spam information, or we are trying to classify the spam or legitimate information, and what is the role of feature selection or attribute selection in this. So every time whenever we are trying to do any sort of classification, we know that we have to come with some of the historical data we are having. It means we are having some of the data in case of classification, where we are trying to find out the pattern from that historical data, and then we will be creating one model. Then we can, in the next step, we can easily work with some test data that should be tested. This is the basic way how we can find it out. Now, when we are trying to create the model, identifying the pattern, proper attribute selection should be there. So in our work, I have tried to do, this is one research team where we have worked. So in my research team, there are who work together. We have different from different institutions. We are having different collaborators here, and I'm happy to share with you one of my PhD guide is from IIST, Dr. Ashok Kumar Das, and another is from IIT KGP only, Dr. Saptarshi Ghosh. We have done this sort of work together. So it was a very nice work. We have got very good outcome from this one. So basically, we are having some of the classification data set, and few data sets we have considered here, which are publicly available data set, and one data set we have tried to contribute as this is one of the very good practice that definitely you consider any of the public data set. And why you should consider a public data set? Because if you are using public data set, then it will be easier for you to compare your work with some of the other works. Otherwise, at the end of your work, when you will come to the result section, then it will be difficult for you if you don't know the result outcome for that particular data set, what has come in another method. That's why public data consideration is one of the good way to do the research. At the same time, try to contribute some of the data set to the research fraternity, that others can go ahead that particular work with the same data, with same data set. So the fifth data set I have tried to consider here. So basically I have tried to collect some of the data using Twitter API, and from the random samples we have collected few of the legitimate data, and we have tried to prepare some of the spam data. So finding the ground truth of the expert, help of the expert, we have tried to consider this one. Now I was talking to you about the attribute selection, why it is required. So every time I try to find that whenever I'm trying to go for this sort of feature selection, in the backend, people need to identify the pattern of the data. People need to identify what are the attributes are there, what are the values are there for this attribute. Then they try to find out some of the rules. Now, which are the attributes important for that one? So if I'm trying to find it out, and if I'm using any of the classification method, so they are having different technique to find it out. So, or if I'm trying to give, instead of giving all the feature selection, in feature selection helps us to find out exactly important features which are important enough. Now based on this, I will try to form a particular. Let me say you a very general example. Let me tell you, say now quite accustomed with all the COVID symptoms. In last few days, we have seen that we don't have only if you are having the headache, or if you are having body ache, if you are having fever, if you get tested, you are definitely COVID. When this sort of in 2019, the first case we had in 2019 case handled in India basically, or in 2019 the first case handled in China. So when the first case came, it was quite unknown to everyone. It was then a new problem to them, and then day by day when the new variants are coming, so based on the variants different time we have seen the symptoms. There was a certain time when somebody is having some fever and somebody is having some of the cough and cold problem, doctor is suggesting don't go for test, so you can stay back, take some medicine and you can stay back at your home. But if you are having certain symptoms, like if you are having no smell, if you are having no taste, if you are having some chest congestion, or if you are having some breathing problem, then only you go for further test. So they have tried to identify few of the symptoms which are helping them to find out that this may be a COVID case. Okay, so that's why here also same thing we are doing here. So when you are having all the features, we are trying to identify of the features which are basically meant for this particular problem, and if that important features are identified, then in the next step the classification will be easier. So every time whenever we are doing some classification, so if you are trying to create your own classifier, there also you can have this sort of thinking you can do. For classification, I will try to do some sort of good feature selection or feature extraction mechanism, and then it can enhance your classification process definitely. So here in this work, we have tried to use one of the theory-based method, and we try to find it out the relation between all different sort of features. For this sort of specific data, I have come out with the 24 feature level, which is a decision attribute, whether it is spam or legitimate, and we try to find out different sort of outcomes. So not only this, after that finding that what are the features are there, to find out the correlation using the rough set theory, we try to find out the mapping between each and every features. So how the features are correlated to each other and what are the correlation values that we are trying to find out using graph set theory value. And I always prefer to work with some graphical application. So one attribute similarity or attribute dependency graph we have tried to create here, which is where we have tried to plot each and every features as a particular node, and we are trying to map different sort of the mapping value we got from the rough set theory. That value we have tried to put it here or as the mapping value, and then we are trying to find out there that how to go further in the next level, the selection of important features. Now here, using the methodology of connected component, we are trying to find it out that how we can easily find out the selected value or the close component values from that particular features. Now what are the close component value we are receiving? Still now all the edges we can remove, that values can come out with the reduct value. Now the reduct value, whatever we got, whether it is good or bad, that already I have tried to find out some of the selection algorithm. There are so many in the already, if you try to find it out. There are CFS, CON, any sort of ranking algorithm, chi-square, infogain, so many are there. So whether our method is performing better or not, how many exactly number of attributes you have tried to find it out, if you need to know. So for this reason we have tried to come out with that the proposed method has come with a very low number of comparative to other methods, a low number of features they have tried to select. Now to check it out, the final outcome, we really try to find out that whether how they are exactly performing in case of different data set. If we are trying to find out the accuracy NF measure, we can find out the precision recall for different sort of classifiers which are readily available in different tools. Even like if you're using Orange, if you're using Weka and different tools, you can check it out. That need base, RBF network, decision tree, decision table, random T, logistic regression, LWL. So we are trying to find it out, and I have seen that mostly we are this particular method is giving quite a good accuracy. And definitely, if in any of the cases, if you see that your method is quite coming better, exactly similar plus outcome, some another method, you can go for statistical measure, you can go for t-test, Wilcoxon test. These are the tests which give you the statistical outcome. So definitely we have tried to out with this also, and we have seen that these are not significantly different. The proposed method has given some of the good outcomes. So this is a publication of publication information. You can visit my Google Scholar, and in the ResearchGate also you can get the entire paper. You can get it there. And also in the Springer resources, if you visit, the data set is also available. You can download from there for your future work. So now this is another way of future or of information retrieval. So when I'm talking about this information retrieval, you have to retrieve your data. So at the same time, you need to particularly organize your data. You have to represent your data. How to retrieve and how to represent. So data summarization is another challenging technique. So not only for text, you can really some video, you can try it out with some text. So different outcome you can have. So these are the few of the publication details what I have tried to mention here. You can really visit my website. All the details we will be having. We have multiple publication in this area. Has been done previously also. So one of the very easier technique what I have started with, that is a graph-based technique where different data are there. These data are definitely collected. We have tried to collect the data from different sort of tweets, and our task was to summarize the data. So the main motivation was, if you are going to read a particular topic, definitely I will not scroll and I will read all the data. Instead of just finding out all the data, I will try to have some summary or some summarized outcome. So that is more important for us. So that can be not only nowadays, it can be done for any different sort of softwares. Now you see today we are trying to connect each other via some meeting. Definitely my students also, they have tried to create some of the application that after the entire class, they have created a summary that for this particular entire class. It means when the class is getting over, we are having some video recordings, some audio recordings. From that part, they have tried to finding out the text, and then for that particular text, they have come out with the summary. This is a very beautiful thing. This sort of small application you can also think, and definitely you can incorporate. So you can see this is one of the method of what we have tried to take here, graph based. So in a graph, we are trying to put all the nodes here in different sort of node, and we are trying to find similarity, because whenever we are trying to find out the summarization, I feel that graph clustering is required. Why? Because in an entire talk, if we are, some of the person are talking similar, so if we are trying to find out the similarity between each sentences or between each and every contents, then we can group the entire text into different sort of groups. Then from that group, we will be finding that which is the more informative information or which is the more meaningful information. Then we can easily do the summarization. So thinking that part only, we are trying to find out the summary, and here are the different sort of factors what we have considered for to find out the term level similarity and semantic similarity. Now this is the way how we can represent the graph. In real life, this graph doesn't look like this. It is too much congested. I have just shown you one toy example with some of the very less data. You can understand only 5 tweets are there, so that's why I marked the data with 1. So actually it can be 5,000, it can be 50,000. So graph will be too much congested. So then you can go for any sort of clustering. So that community detection technique you can use any other graph selection method for your case. In our case, we have tried to use InfoMap. In one of the application, I have tried to again use Luven. These are the methods which are really available, and it gives very good result. Luven is quite better than InfoMap. I have tried to find out for this, and from each and every group, we have tried to find out the summaries. Definitely that finding the length, but the content is having higher length, we can get it as a summary, or as it is particularly it is a graph. So there is a one thumb rule is there, that one particular node which is having in degree, so it is having most information. It means that other nodes are communicating to that particular node and giving all the information. So in degree is twice prioritized. So that's why you can take that particular higher in degree nodes, and then you can make a summary, or you can take a total summary. Because if you are using InfoMap, they itself giving you a representative nodes for each and every cluster. You can see 3 clusters are there in this picture. So for each and every cluster, InfoMap will automatically give you one representative. Combining this, also you can prepare a summary. So this is another few summaries what we have tried, that if we see that whenever we are getting so much congested node, then you can do the thresholding of that particular graph. So whichever nodes are not very important, whichever contents are quite similar or coming again and again, we can discard that, or then we can take out based on the similarity factor. If it is having very threshold, we can or very low value than the threshold value, then we can deduct that one, and combining the same previous methodology, we can again come up with some summary. And we have seen that we have tried to compare the summary with one of the very common method, that is sum basic, and we have tried to find out that it is coming the precision and recall, it is giving good outcome for the length summary. So actually here we got good outcome for the length summary, because one particular tweet which is containing more information, it is having some of the more information. So considering these only good summaries. Now another, when we thought of another few algorithms, in the meanwhile we have worked this previous one in 2015. In the meanwhile, there are few researches which has gone, and we have then again we have tried to concentrate on the same topic, and this time we thought to do something bigger. So that's why in this time we have seen that so many methods are there which has come into the market, and they are actually performing of different type of data. Now that is quite a motivation for us, that we can see some of the authors are working on some of the natural calamity data, some of the authors are working tutorial activity data. In this way, we have tried to find out 9 different methods which are actually working good in some of the different cases. Now this time we thought that instead of creating a new method, so this time we will try to combine of all different methods, and we will create a single method which can give a good algorithm, good outcome. Thinking that we have tried to find out 4 of the data sets which are popularly used in different research work. That is one Bombless data was there for Hyderabad city, and another was some Sandy Hook school. It was a territorial activity data over there, and another was Uttarakhand flood data, which happened in 2009 or something, and another is Typhoon Hagupit data. So these are the few data we have tried to find it out. Now next, when we have tried to go for this one, so these 9 methods we have collected. So the second method counts. It was actually previously I was talking about my guide, Dr. Saptarshi, of that synergy group in IIT Kharagpur only. So that team, they have tried to propose the Scouts methods, and we had a discussion that what are the limitations we are trying to fill there. So to overcome, and we thought that we can go for this sort of method where the extension technique we will be choosing via some ensemble method. So we have done one sort of literature survey, that for any particular data, if you go through all this sort of algorithm, how many common summaries are there. So we can see in few of the cases the number of common summaries is almost 0. That is not a very significant number, and few of the cases the number of common summaries are coming with some numbers. So that's why in the next phase we have thought to devise with 2 different sort of methods. One should be unsupervised and another should be supervised. Now how this unsupervised and supervised is coming, whenever we are going to summary to check the accuracy, we are having the root scores. So actually all the 9 methods what I told previously, so all the 9 methods for I am having the root score. Now that root score can be used at some value, weighted value. So that's why we can go for some supervised algorithm, and in the other case we are going for unsupervised algorithm. Now how we can do this one? First of all, one of the voting method whenever we are trying to go. So in case of unsupervised one, we don't know what is the root score. We will behave in that only, and we only know these are the original data and these are the summaries what we are having from different methods. Now the ensemble what we will do is, first we will try to in case of some supervised version, we will be that along with that particular data and summaries we are having the root score even. So we will try to create a learning model, and then we will try to find out based on the ranking of the learn to rank model, we will try to find out the summary. Now let me come one by one that how we are trying to find out this unsupervised one. In unsupervised one, we are trying to propose different methods within that unsupervised one even. So first of all, we are considering that if you are having 100 data, and from the summary if you are getting 50 data or if you are getting 30 data, what are the exact outcomes we have in 9 different methods that we know. Simply we are trying to do a voting between the 9 methods, and we are trying to get all the data, and we are creating a repository of 550 data, that is your summary. This is the first thing what we try to get. In the next phase, we are trying to finding out that we are trying to go for a graph-based application where different tweets are placed as a node, and we are trying to find out the similarity between the different sort of tweets, and then we are trying to find out the represent. So here, to finding out the similarity, like the previous one, we have not chosen only the text level similarity. We have tried to find out vector similarity this time and embedded similarity. So these are the different methods what we have tried. And for selection of the grouping or grouping of a particular node also, here the connected component we can use, and another Leuven community detection method are used. Different methods are proposed basically. Now selecting from the group also, in previous cases you can see selecting from the group, sometimes maximum length can be important, maximum degree can be important. We can find out the TF-ID score, this is one of the very common thing we know, and also PM25 score, that also we consider. So these are the few methods what we have gone through, and I will show you the result for this section, how it has come. And after this, from all the different clusters, whatever the outcome representative we chose, chosen outcome will come as a summary, and that will be the outcome of the ensemble method. And similarly, we can create the roots code, and we can come out with the So this is the next case which has come for supervised one. In case of supervised, we are having all the algorithms outcome. We are also having the root scores. So whenever you are having the root score, you can come with the summaries, and later on in the test set, whenever you are preparing the test set, you can test your data out with that. So whenever you are having few of the data, you can this time you can go for the voting method, and we have tried to find out the weighted voting method. So all the root scores we are having where the scores are quite higher, we are trying to consider that one instead of considering only the bigrams, because we are having the n-gram data here. And in the another proposed method where we are having the learn to rank algorithm, we have taken care, and we try to train our model in that way, that putting the particular score, and then we are trying to choose the top K tweets from there. So these are the outcomes. As I told you that different sort of vectors we can create, and we can train that one. So vector can be the binary vector, choosing that whatever the data you are having, either if that particular data is present in the summary or not, you can just take a binary vector. And apart from this also, we have tried to create our own different sort of features, that is total number of words we have taken. These are the 12 points we have tried to consider. Maximum stop words where we are having how many number of nouns, verb, user mention means annotation, hashtag, TF-ID score. Considering everything, we have created a vector, and that vector, after that vector, along with this, we are having the root score, which are used as a measure to train the model. Then we are getting the outcome. Now this is the comparative analysis of all 9 methods. You can see how this is performing extremely good with the other one. So now this time, whatever the method we have tried to find it out, here these are unsupervised one only. You can see as we have used multiple way of computing the similarity, and multiple way we have tried to find out the representative, so many combinations we have taken, and we have come out with so many outcomes. This 4 methods is performing better than counts that are marked here with red color, you can see. And these are the methods in case of supervised one that we have come out with some good outcome, but we have seen that unsupervised one is actually giving us better outcome if you are trying to consider, instead of considering any another ranking algorithm, if you directly go for any sort of clustering algorithm by using some of the graph clustering, it is giving us better outcome. So that's why we have chosen that one. So this is the summary of this particular tweet, summarization and everything, that why we are getting the good outcomes after. It is always I motivate people every way that you can go for ensemble one when so many methods are there, and definitely I will try to motivate you all that definitely don't go for only text, because that days has already gone that people are only trying to apply different sort of method on text. So really, along with the text, you can go for different sort of images, you can go for different sort of videos also. And not only this sort of information retrieval, whenever you are doing, you can definitely consider all the factors, all the different challenges you can meet. Whatever I mentioned, apart from this different sort of technique you can use. Nowadays I can see that one-shot learning, zero-shot learning, these are also very popular. Apart from this deep learning and methods, you can this one, and you can go with the new trends, definitely. So this is the conclusion of my talk. I have just tried to highlight few of the challenges and few of the work I have tried to show you. So if you have any question, you can ask me. These are the publication details, and all the information you will get in my website and as well as in the Google Scholar and in ResearchGate as well. You can download the paper from there. If you have to contact me, definitely you can contact me. Is given. Definitely feel free to contact me. So I'm ready to take the questions. If you have any question, you can share your question.
Please, guys, do you have questions to ask? Huh? Okay, I consider that none of you have a question.
Just a minute. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sorry, my mic was not working. So you mentioned a lot of clustering algorithms which it is used on the Twitter data.
Yes, yes.
So is there any specific algorithm which performs best, or is it data dependent, as we see?
It's quite data dependent. There is no particular algorithm you can say that it is good. I have worked with different data basically. So I have seen for different data, the same algorithm is working in different way. There is no particular one particular method we cannot say that it is working good. And conventionally, we are having different sort of clustering algorithms. These are very good, no doubt what we study generally in our book, that we start from K-means and all that. So these algorithms are good, mathematical background are also very good, but still I will say for different sort of data, and especially when you are working with this sort of noisy data, you have to particularly address for this sort of data. The data pre-processing part is different. If you need to have some of the NLP application, if you are working with some different linguistic data, so definitely it will not perform well for all. One particular method will not perform well for one particular method.
Okay, and one more question I have. So, how does the network adjust to storage? Because Twitter data will always keep on increasing every day, and if we are using memory-based networks, and then like the RNN networks, for instance, then it will use all the data of the previous instances as well.
Yeah, this is a very good question what you have done. So basically most of the researchers, you can see they try to address the data based on the static application, static data. We try to download the data many times from Casual or directly from Twitter API, and we try to execute different sort of algorithms. Now, every time definitely you can use the graph algorithm. First of a database you can use, and that should be definitely incremental database what you need to use. Try to use some of the graph-based network, the basic grid sort of structure you can consider, or you can convert it into some vectorization vector format. But initially try to consider some of the graph-based structure, because how different sort of OSN, they are trying to maintain their database, they are also maintaining the graph-based network. So any sort of evaluation or application will be easier for you. So that's why Also, we directly try to download some of the file, then we try to plot it in a graph, because in a exactly graph formation, data will not come to us. It will come to you in a general text format, text file format, .txt. If you will download, it will come in that format only. But try to work with try to create a graph-based architecture that will be helpful for you to work with. And another thing, we should definitely give more emphasis on dynamic data or incremental data set, because every time the one particular algorithm, again I'm just trying to answer you the previous question also, one particular algorithm may work very good for your static data, but when you are trying to do some incremental clustering, the data will be dynamic, the clustering and everything will be dynamic. The number of clusters can be changed, the number of classification can introduce some of the new level, many things can happen. So definitely we should work on this.
Thank you, ma'am. No more questions from me.
Anyone else? So I consider that no one is having any questions. So I really thank you, ma'am, to take the time out of your busy schedule and be the guest lecturer for today. I think that your talk has been quite interesting and has helped many of the participants in the best possible way. I also look forward to our very soon next interaction. I also thank the participants present here for taking interest into this talk, and it has been really being pleasure with you all today, and thank you all for your patience. So we would like to conclude the talk and wish you all a very good evening.
Thank you all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.